So this is the preoperative situation. This is a trauma eye with contusion after a work-related injury. Please note the sonor analysis on the left nasal side. It's at least one quadrant. And there is a big vitreous prolapse in the interior chamber. I inserted 3 trocar cannulas. You can do the complete surgery with an infinity machine. So I decided to remove the vitreous prolapse, and I'm starting from pars plana through a trocar cannula, removing the vitreous behind the lens. Please note that the infusion is on, which is attached through a trocar cannula at pars plana. The same maneuver on the other side, removal of vitreous located behind the lens, again through a trocar cannula from pars plana. Now I'm injecting triamcinolone to stain the vitreous prolapse. You see now the vitreous prolapse, which is actually bigger than the staining is. I injected just now some Helon into the interior chamber, and this is the prolapse. So it's important to work carefully in order not to damage the lens capsule or even the lens. So I'm trying to remove now the vitreous prolapse with a vitreous cutter. I'm cutting very slowly, and I'm holding the opening of the cutter towards the cornea to avoid an injury of the lens capsule or even the lens. The prolapse is actually coming from the sonor analysis on the nasal side, and it covers more or less the complete pupil, the complete lens, and the pupillary margin. We will see this later better than now. So I'm trying carefully now to remove the vitreous. The infusion is switched on, that's important. So I'm trying carefully to remove the vitreous prolapse, which is located on the lens. Some more Helon to inflate the interior chamber. You see there's much vitreous prolapse left, especially on the nasal and inferior side. And I'm trying to remove more of this stained vitreous. So this is a young patient with a clear lens. That's why I did not plan to remove the lens. In addition, it is his only eye, and I wanted to do as little surgery as possible. So I'm trying now to remove the residual vitreous. Here's the nasal side, which is a bit tricky because I cannot grasp or remove the vitreous here. You will soon see the vitreous better. I visualize it now with a second staining of triamcinolone. Please note now that there is vitreous prolapse on the iris. Here, there is vitreous on the iris, and this has to be removed. I'm trying to remove it with the vitreous cutter, but I have no success. It is too firmly attached, and I don't want to injure the iris. So I decide to use an intravitreal forceps, and you see very nicely how the vitreous can now be removed from the iris, which also occluded the pupillary margin, causing the high intraocular pressure. So even on this side you see that the vitreous prolapse covers the iris, occluding, closing the pupillary margin and resulting in a high intraocular pressure. Please note the pigmented prolapse of vitreous through paracentesis. This has to be removed, of course. And then there is more vitreous here on this side, which also has to be removed. There you go. So now the pupillary margin is free from vitreous. There's some more vitreous left, which I will remove now with the cutter. Now all the vitreous is removed, and the surgery is finalized. I leave the lens as it is. This is the only eye of the patient. I'd only want to do as much as necessary, and so all the trocar cannulas can be removed.